How did you trick someone into growing up? My 30-year-old brother, Tyler, used to have dreams of becoming a software engineer. Then he discovered he could just live in our parents' basement forever, and it was like someone deleted his ambition. Exe file. Tyler's daily routine was a masterpiece of entitlement that would have been impressive if it wasn't so pathetic. He'd wake at 2 p.m. and immediately text our 68-year-old mother for breakfast in bed, then disappear into his gaming cave until 4 a.m. while she did his laundry. He'd lasted 2 days at Dairy Queen before getting fired for telling a customer their kid looked mid, and 3 weeks at a restaurant before they caught him stealing tips. Every family dinner followed the same pattern. He'd grab a plate and vanish upstairs, and when mom asked for help with dishes, he'd sigh like she'd requested a kidney donation. The man had turned avoiding responsibility into his full-time occupation, treating our parents' house like his personal hotel with a 24-hour room service staff named Mom. The breaking point came when Dad had his stroke, and Mom spent 14 hours at the hospital not knowing if her husband would survive. She came home that night completely destroyed, still wearing yesterday's clothes that smelled like hospital disinfectant because she hadn't left Dad's side. Tyler met her at the door, not to hug her, not to ask about Dad, to demand his dinner. "Where's my food? I've been waiting 2 hours," he said, like she'd forgotten to feed a pet. When Mom told him through tears that Dad might not make it, Tyler just shrugged and said, "Yeah, but I'm hungry now." That's when I knew exactly what needed to happen. If Tyler wanted to be a permanent dependent who couldn't function without Mommy's help, I'd give him exactly that experience, but on my terms. I spent the week researching conservatorships and legal guardianship for adults with demonstrated inability to manage their affairs, and the requirements were surprisingly achievable for someone like Tyler. I contacted my lawyer friend who owed me a favor, and together we drew up papers that looked official enough to terrify anyone. Then I coordinated with my siblings to stage an intervention that would flip Tyler's world upside down, because everything we'd present would be technically possible under state law. Adults who can't support themselves can indeed have guardians appointed, and we'd show him what being truly dependent meant. No gaming without permission, supervised internet access, mandatory job applications, and weekly allowance based on good behavior. Sunday's family meeting arrived like a storm Tyler didn't see coming, and he slouched into the living room expecting another toothless lecture he could ignore. Instead, I spread the official-looking legal documents across the table with all their intimidating headers and legal language. "Tyler, since you've demonstrated complete inability to function as an independent adult, we're filing for conservatorship, which means you'll be legally declared dependent." I showed him the daily schedule we'd prepared. 7 a.m., wake up with breakfast at the table, supervised job searching until noon with proof of applications, household chores until 5 p.m., and 1 hour of supervised gaming if all tasks were completed. "What the hell is this?" he screamed, his voice cracking. "This is what you've been asking for," I said calmly. "Complete dependence means complete supervision, so Mom will manage your finances while I oversee your daily activities, because you wanted to be taken care of like a child, and here's your wish." Tyler's face went through every shade from red to purple as the implications sank in, and his hands started shaking as he picked up the papers. "You can't do this because I'm an adult," he shouted, though his voice betrayed his uncertainty. I nodded sympathetically while maintaining eye contact, then showed him the evidence on my phone. "You're an adult who can't feed himself when his mother is at the hospital with his dying father, and the court will find that very interesting along with these screenshots showing 10,000 hours on Valorant, but 0 hours of employment in nearly a decade." Mom looked at Tyler with those same broken eyes from the hospital night, and her voice was barely a whisper. "I can't do this anymore, Tyler, so either you accept the conservatorship or you have 30 days to leave." The realization hit him like a freight train as he understood this wasn't a bluff, because we had actual papers with actual legal language and actual plans. "You're seriously going to control my entire life?" he whispered, his arrogance completely gone. "No, Tyler," I said, sliding over apartment listings I'd printed. "We're giving you a choice between signing these papers and living under conservatorship with every purchase approved and every hour scheduled, or using these 30 days to find a job and your own place. But either way, the hotel service ends today." I watched him process what true dependence meant, and saw the moment he realized freedom required responsibility. "If I get a job, you won't file these?" he asked desperately. "Get a job, keep it for 30 days, and show us a signed lease," I said. Then these papers disappear. 6 months later, Tyler's folding shirts at Target and sharing an apartment with 2 roommates who don't deliver breakfast in bed. He still games too much, but now it's on his own dime. And he actually showed up to Dad's birthday dinner with a card that said, "From Tyler," instead of "From Mom." He never knew we were bluffing, because sometimes the best way to teach independence is to show someone what true dependence really looks like.